Well, boys and girls, I'm all out of Jaime's body lube, and I'm out to the basement to go do another load, pick up another load. But while I do, or before I do, I thought I'd grace you with a little bit of Vancouver Canuck action. For all of you people in the Americas that are wondering what a Canuck is, it is a slang word for Canadian that has no origin whatsoever. Somebody just made this shit up. That's all it is. It's a Canuck. I don't even know if it's supposed to be plural or not plural or anything like that. It comes from a native word, maybe. They're really not sure. They don't know. And that pretty much sums up what Vancouver is at right now, because nobody really knows, I don't think. They're in rough shape. The owners seem to think that it's a good idea to make the Sedins happy and try to keep on being competitive for them, because it's not fair to them that they would have to go into a rebuild right now. Well, I'm sorry, you have paying customers. They're called fans. And it's really not fair to them for you to not rebuild when you need to rebuild, because you're trying to make two very well paid people happy. I was flabbergasted by that. And this brings me to the fact that they're not showing up to the games. Normally I would say, hey, you know what? Come on, cheer on your team, fill up that building, but not this time. Not this time. I know the Vancouver fans are a little finicky, but if I'm in their shoes, I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm going either. Not after we find out that our paying dollar is being squandered to make the Sedins happy for their glory years, or for not even their glory years. Glory isn't the right word. For their golden years. Not a good idea. And I don't think Linden and Benning and those guys are on board really with the owners either, but they're getting paid by them, so they got to do what they got to do. And what are they doing? They're bringing in guys with horrible possession numbers like Sutter, who can play a role on a team, but not the type of role he's having to play now. They are trying to be as young as possible and sort of do a rebuild, but not do a rebuild, and then bring in Eriksson to make the Sedins happy again. And all of these moves have no real congruence to them, and it's showing on the product. The one thing that they do have going for them is a fantastic coach who I was supposed to look up his name before I started this, and I forget. He is doing awesome with that team, though. He is doing really good. Message me on the bottom, remind me. It starts with a D. I don't know why I can't remember. Anyways, you got guys like Miller that are sitting there in pretty much la la land. Like, they're right in the middle of, what do I do here now? I mean, they're not competitive. They're not going through a rebuild. They've even talked about bringing him back again. They don't even know. It's quite obvious the way they're talking. They don't know exactly what they're doing. On a positive note, they've got Bo Horvat, who, on a negative note, they had to give up Schneider to get him, so that's not really all that positive. But they have Bo Horvat. They have Virtanen, who's down in the minors, not getting very many points right now. Barchi, I guess. I mean, and they have a couple guys coming up that look like they're going to be pretty good as well. Again, their names escape me off the top of my head, but there really isn't much in the cupboard either. Their AHL team is doing really poor, and it's not looking good, guys. I'm sorry. I try to find a positive spin in all this, but there isn't much. Well, the only thing good about it is, even though they're not doing a rebuild, they're sucking bad enough that they're still going to get some decent draft picks. Maybe they can win a lottery, and they can be okay. Still collecting those draft picks that they need. But they need to be trading away. Pretty much everybody. Like, unfortunately, they have no trade clauses on way too many players. The Sutters, the Hansons, guys like that have no trade clauses, and the owner just came out and said they're not going to ask them if they'll get rid of their no trade clause. They have to come to them. So basically, not the owner, sorry, that was the manager. That was Benning that said that. He's not going to ask them to if they don't want to, which isn't a bad idea, because if you do want to go get free agents, you want them to feel like they're going to stand by their no trade clauses and stuff like that. I'll give them a benefit of the doubt there, but really it's a mess. Markstrom looks like a good goaltender. Boozer is one of them. Well, you know, that's not a bad name. That's pretty good. It's no Hyman, but Boozer's pretty darn good. Boozer is one of the young players that they have. It looks like he's going to be a really good player. And Ulevi, that they picked up in the draft there last time, people said he looks like a young Olli Mata, and if that's the case, well, that's good, but not anywhere near good enough for what they need. The Stetcher kid that they've been showing off this last little while looks like he's going to be a gooder. They have Hutton. Looks like a good defenseman. They've got some decent players there that are young and they're building, that they can kind of build around, but they got to go all in on it now. I'm sorry, if the Sedins don't want to go, great, but you got to let them know we're rebuilding whether you want to go or not. So I guess they can be character for the young players as they lose for the next couple of years until they go off into their retirement. That's basically all you can do there. That's my full 42, ladies and gentlemen, and I gotta get out my grocery cart and go get a load of Jaime's Body Lube for any time you might have some Barchi in your Tremakin. I would strongly suggest you use Jaime's Body Lube. There, I said it. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day.